Welcome to Cadwell Park for rounds 7, 8 and 9 of the BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Championship. Championship leader Ollie Atwood doesn't even make it into the top 10 here, so it's going to be really interesting to see how he gets through the grid. Second place in the championship, Will Blackwell Chambers is in third, and it's Mike Comber that starts on pole position. It's over to Jake Sanson to take you through the rest of the grid.
Fascinating starting grid this time, Lloyd Bonson. Mike Comber on pole position from Adam Bessel on the front row, with Will Blackwell Chambers and Brian Trott on the second row. Sam Smith and Sebastian Fisher on row 3. Charlie Burge and Jason Greatrex on the fourth row from John Langridge, and then Adam Craig rounding out the top 10. Stuart Simmons and Clive Poles are next up, with Marcus Bailey alongside Stephen Foden. Then comes Harry Dean alongside Ollie Allwood, right the way down in 16th on the grid. Teddy Clark and Simon Orange come next from Paul Tucker, Lewis Cannon, Matt Pollard, and the only man managing to just about scrape in, Martin Tolley, into the A group. The last 5, of course, across the line will be demoted to the B group. Nobody wants to be there. The green flag flies at the back of the grid. The 5-second board goes up. We're getting ready to race here at Cadwell Park in the first of the Mazda MX-5 Championship races for the weekend. Avanti! Let's go racing at Cadwell Park. Good start from Comber. Bessel looks like he's going to draw a little bit alongside, but Comber's got the jump. It's Will Blackwell Chambers. He's already trying to assert himself through Coppis into second place. I think he's going to have the draft to get there, and he's not the only one. Sam Smith looks like he's going to get on the inside as well. We're on board with Charlie Burge. Up to our right-hand side, we've just caught the 83 Brian Trott napping and got through. I think we're going to try and make the same move on Bessel, but haven't quite got the momentum to get there. So it's Comber out in front from Blackwell Chambers and Sam Smith. Then it is the 4 of Adam Bessel, side by side, Burge and Brian Trott going up the park straight, up towards the right-hander at Park. Cracking start in the Mazda MX-5s, difficult to overtake here, so a lot of interesting moves could be made on this first lap. Bessel and Trott have seen off Charlie Burge as we go through the park right-hander and up towards Chris Curve. That's Ollie Allwood trying to make progress, but overtaking at Cadwell Park is incredibly difficult. It's like balancing on an ice cube. Martin Tolley trying to fight his way through the order and has made up a couple of places already. But now the 23's got a lot of work to make up. 2 drivers out of position then, Allwood and Tolley, who definitely expected to be towards the sharp end as they drop out of the gooseneck down the hill towards Mansfield. There's a little bit of jostling for position already, but it's Comber in front of Blackwell Chambers and Sam Smith. So Comber and Smith, the 2 teammates, are there with Blackwell Chambers, the meat in the sandwich at the moment, as they come up the mountain once again through the right-hander, up the crest, and up and over the dip as they come up towards the Hall Bends. This is tricky. Right, left, blipping the throttle and the brake, trying to coax it just right, right again, then through the left and up towards the hairpin. But it is Comber, Blackwell Chambers and Smith that lead the charge. In 4th position, I think that is a change for position. I'll just look back. Well, I'm watching these guys for the moment as they come through. Big tank snapper from Blackwell Chambers as they come through this time by. But a really good battle as they're in 4th position, chasing them down. That looks to me like Brian Trott has got himself into a good position there in front of Charlie Burge. So some good moves on that one. Bessel has lost ground and down to 5th position. Now we're on board with Steve Foden as he charges his way up through the field. He's got a lot of speed through Coppis and has made up a massive amount of time on the man in front as he battles for position. They come up through Charlie's. It's going to be a very exciting race win for Combo if he can hang on to this, but Blackwell Chambers and Sam Smith are not giving up yet, and there's still quite a way to go. He is resolute in his defence at the moment, hanging on to the lead. Runs a bit wide though, so he's definitely under some pressure. As we get into the last couple of laps of the race, maybe Blackwell Chambers will start to go for those moves where perhaps now he's not quite so keen to do so. The trouble is you don't want to throw caution to the winds too early in the race, otherwise you will not have enough time to get back. And it's the last couple of laps where you'll make those positions as well. But as well as wanting a race win, Blackwell Chambers and Mike Comber in particular, Sam Smith in particular, will know that if they finish 2nd and 3rd compared to Ollie Allwood, who's still outside the top 10, by the way, they are going to score big points and catch him up in the championship. So this qualifying mistake from Oliver Allwood has really cost him big points in this first race. So this is going to be a difficult one to manoeuvre. Comber looks set for a very tidy first race win here at Cadwell Park if he can just keep this up, but he's still got some defence work to do. Last lap, one more run around the Cadwell Park circuit, and I don't see Blackwell Chambers getting past Mike Comber unless the leader makes a mistake. I do, however, see Sam Smith mounting a serious challenge to Blackwell Chambers. Whether he can get by or not, that's a different story. But as they come through Charlie's, down onto the park straight once again, Blackwell Chambers is insistent to shake Sam Smith off, and he's now going to try and set Mike Comber up. Maybe Comber is going to have to defend like crazy. Blackwell Chambers is going to be sent to the left side of the circuit. It's a right-hander, so Comber's got himself plenty of space. He defends that inside line at Park, and up towards Chris Curve. This is the club racing equivalent of Nigel Mansell and Ayrton Senna at Monaco 92. Can he make a way through? Can he heck? As far as Mike Comber is concerned, he drifts out of Gooseneck and has to go very defensive to stop Sam Smith snatching second place. Well, the team wants a 1-2, that is for certain, but Blackwell Chambers is spoiling the party a little in second place. But I think that attempt on Comber and then having to back out of it has definitely given Sam Smith the motivation to go for second. Blackwell Chambers is desperately trying to hang on. I think Mike Comber has got this. They come up and over the mountain. Still very tight and tense. Will Sam Smith try one final trick as Comber is just going to continue to put the MCR machine out in front and run through these final two corners into the hairpin. I don't think Sam Smith's close enough. He's not going to risk a third position at this point in the championship. Out of the final turn, out through Barn, and it's going to be Mike Comber with a sensational victory. He's done a brilliant job to hang on to it, and what a superb performance from pole position. He wins, and that's what it means to him. It's a euphoric victory for Comber. He totally and utterly deserves it. That's a breakthrough win in 2018. Blackwell Chambers is second from Smith in third. A good run from Brian Trott to hang on to fourth position there in front of Adam Bessel. And then we've got Charlie Burge and Jason Greatrex rounding out the top six. Absolutely terrific run there from Comber with Blackwell Chambers, Smith, Trott, Bessel and Burge in the top six from Jason Greatrex, John Langridge, Sebastian Fisher and Stephen Foden creeping into the top 10 there with a great steely drive as well. Craig Bailey poles and eventually Oliver Allwood cracking Harry Dean. Teddy Clark, Stuart Simmons, Lewis Cannon, Martin Tolley and Matthew Pollard are in the top 20 with Simon Orange and Paul Tucker completing the field in a great first race here at Cadwell Park. Brilliant stuff.
Mike, you've clearly got something sorted out here for Cadwell Park. Lights to flag, and you're able to keep Will and Sam behind you. That's pretty special going.
Yeah, I've got good friends. That's what it is. Yeah, I'm really struggling on engine power, but I love this circuit. Always give my best round here. Always get the best out of me.
Sam, well done on your third place. Tough race out there though with your teammates. Was there ever an occasion where you thought I might just slip it up the inside?
It wasn't my teammates, I'll be through definitely. But no, it was a difficult race. I was fast in all the wrong areas to make an easy move, and Mike and Will were so close. It would have been hard to overtake Will without either trying to overtake Mike, which is impossible at the same time, or having a collision. But I'm really happy for Mike. He's finally got the result he's deserved. Puts a lot of effort into the team and everyone's equipment rather than his own. His own still isn't right, but to give something back's nice. So yeah, he fully deserves the win.
You join us in the holding area for race 2A in the BRSCC Mazda Championship. Ollie Atwood was leading the championship coming in to the racing this weekend, but problems in qualifying has put him down the grid for the first race, and he's really struggling to overtake here and come back through the field.
Yeah, he's had quite a few issues during his qualifying, and he's slowly working his way back up, but he's got a lot of pace to take.
Thanks, Lindsay. Thanks, Lloyd, as well. This one's going to be a very interesting battle, it has to be said. We've got a very intense grid. Comber and Blackwell Chambers on the front, with Smith and Trott on the second row. Bessel and Burge, Greatrex and Langridge, and in the top 10 with them. Keep an eye on these guys in the middle. They'll be wanting to make a better overtaking move or two. Fisher and Foden. Then it is Adam Craig and Marcus Bailey, Clive Poles and the resurgent Oliver Allwood still wanting to make progress. Harry Dean and Teddy Clark are in the mix as well. Keep an eye on Simmons and Bateman. Obviously up from Group B, then Courtney Milnes, Chris Stapleton, Will Hayden and Adrian Burge wanting to make their impressions as well. This could be a very enticing battle, and they're all up for a scrap, so let's see how it goes. 5-second board goes up once again here at Cadwell Park. The Mini Nürburgring is going to resound to the tune of Mazda MX-5 Mark 1s. Here we go. Good start again from Comber. Blackwell Chambers is going to try and draw alongside round the outside, and if he can get a better start, he can sweep round. But Comber's going to hold that inside line. Can Smith do to Blackwell Chambers what Blackwell Chambers was unable to do earlier in the race and sweep his way by? They're going to try and get their way through that first couple of corners and up towards the Park Straight. Blackwell Chambers has been well and truly beaten to the punch by Sam Smith. So the two MCR cars are now first and second as the rest of the field knits their way through quite beautifully. The Paul Bateman, who won the B group, has now come up alongside Stuart Simmons there trying to fight his way through. That is Bessel trying to shake off the attentions of Brian Trott as they work their way through Park Corner. And Ollie Allwood is definitely getting on with it on this first lap. He put two wheels on the grass there, trying to come around the outside, and that was a very close run thing. He very nearly ended up off the racetrack there as he battles away with the likes of Bailey and Craig. Really exciting tussle, and Langridge is going to go ugly early for Jason Greatrex on the inside of Mansfield. Can he hold it? Because Greatrex is going to try and be defensive on the outside. He's got two wheels on the grass. That's enough for Burge to come through. That looks like it's also enough for Bowden to come through. Really exciting start to this race. Bowden has got past Greatrex as well, so that's 3 places lost, all courtesy of John Langridge. No thank you, John. And that's Jason Greatrex very frustrated there to have lost 3 positions, which are going to be very hard indeed to get back. They come through Hall Bends once again, but John Langridge absolutely determined. I'm going to get through this time, and how about this? The MCR cars are now 1 and 2, Comber and Smith, with Blackwell Chambers in 3rd position. Now, that is exactly what the inside line did last time, although Blackwell Chambers only lost 1 position rather than 2 off the start. Bessel is in there in 4th place. This time he's in front of Brian Trott, and again, it's because he had that sweeping inside line through Coppice. Now Trott's going to have to get very much on terms with Bessel early on. Back end slides, he somehow catches the car before it spins, as Allwood's going to make a bid to get past Sebastian Fisher. I'm not sure whether he made that move or not, but I tell you what, Allwood looking much stronger in this race than he did even in race 1. So Blackwell Chambers is now going to try and knock on the door of the MCR cars. He had 1 that he was staring at the back of all the way through race 1. Now he's going to be staring at 2 of them all race long unless he can do something about it. This is great work for Comber, and for Sam Smith it's some good points on the board. Getting his confidence back after that little incident, so you never know, maybe a Group B victory fight could be exactly what would do the trick, but I don't think anybody really wants to end up in Group B if they can help it. So Bessel doing his best as they come up the mountain once again, up and over the crest. Beautiful racing from these guys, but they're starting to separate out just a little bit. That's Teddy Clark in the middle of the middle of the train as he tries to charge after Stuart Simmons in the Club 100 car, who I have to say was lucky not to be one of the drivers knocked down to the B group and is now in the mix. Last lap. Can John Langridge move up into 4th position? Now, again, if I'm John Langridge, 5th position might not be a bad place to start the final race from, because he'll be on that inside line and might be able to get the jump on Brian Trott through Coppice of the 3rd and final race of the weekend. But for the MCR cars, this is heaven. Comber and Smith, 1st and 2nd. Blackwell Chambers in 3rd. From Brian Trott and the very popular John Langridge fighting his way through. The Nightmare of Snetterton is a long distance memory, isn't it? Up towards Park, in through the right-hander, and now Will Blackwell Chambers is struggling to get the victory. The reigning champion does not have what it takes at the moment to get through past these guys, and that is basically because of space. He may have the speed, but he doesn't have the room to manoeuvre. Absolutely brilliant. Down the straight, into Mansfield. Comber looking for 2 wins out of 2, and that would really be a superb effort from Mike Comber. He was elated with the first race victory. If he can make it 2, well, that's definitely going to keep him smiling. Here they come again. Sam Smith in 2nd place still in front of Blackwell Chambers. Can Blackwell Chambers do what Smith couldn't in race 1 and find a way by? Up the mountain, Blackwell Chambers is trying to get alongside. Smith moves across the cover. Don't even think about it, Will. This is my 2nd place. We're going to be 1-2. You're going to have to try something pretty special to get by now. Through Hall Bends, can he throw it to the inside? No, he's not that stupid. He's not going to dive for the inside when there's not enough room. So it's going to be a 1-2 for the team. Mike Comber and Sam Smith have cleaned up with Will Blackwell Chambers in pursuit. Brilliant stuff, and a fantastic victory for Mike Comber, as John Langridge has not quite been able to get past Brian Trott, but a victory for Comber again. Langridge is pretty happy with 5th position as they come across the line in there behind Brian Trott. Look at that, he punches his fist. That felt good. It's a 1-2 for the team then for Mike Comber and Sam Smith. Will Blackwell Chambers in 3rd position. Brian Trott and John Langridge in the top 5. Stephen Foden and Charlie Burge. Then Ollie Allwood, who's made his way up to 8th place now from Fisher and Craig. Poles and Simmons, Teddy Clark and Harry Dean, then Bessel down in 15th and Jason Greatrex and Paul Bateman. The 5 that go down are Adrian Burge, Chris Stapleton and the retirees, Courtney Milnes, Will Hayden and of course Marcus Bailey, who brought out that safety car.
Another congratulations for you, Mike. I mean, is there something to it or is it just a lucky track?
I do like this track, yeah, a lot. So yeah, it could be the track, but I've been there at Brands. I was sort of just in the top 10, and then Snetterton was a good round for me. I was near the podium, managed to get a lucky podium in the second race after a mistake by Brian Trott. So yeah, it's been coming. So I'm happy it's this weekend. I do like this track.
Sam, you had third yesterday, second now. What have you got to do to get the top step in race 3?
Beat one of my teammates again if I can. I got the top step here last year in one of the races, luckily, so I'll try and do it on merit this year. But he's not easy to beat. He's so quick out of all the right corners, so I can get onto the back of him through the fast corners, but the slow corners he just seems absolutely mega through them. So yeah, I just need to improve my game a little bit for the next one, maybe make a few changes to the car, and if I can stick with him out the last corner and through off the last hairpin, then should be able to make a move on him into turn 1, hopefully. That's where he's weakest. So,
Will, a huge congratulations to you. That seemed like a really tough battle out there.
No, really good race. Happy MCR got a 1-2-3, but I felt maybe second was on the cards, but the safety car kind of shortened the race somewhat. So see if we can go 1 or 2 better in the next race and see what it brings.
Welcome to the holding area as the cars are getting ready to go out for the final 3A race in the BRSCC Mazda Championship. Now, Lindsay, these 3 guys behind us, Will, Sam and Mike, they've really taken away from the rest of the field in the previous 2 races. Can we see that happen again in this last race?
Oh, I reckon without a doubt. I reckon they're going to be there having their own race like they usually do. I'm just wondering to see if Sam's going to risk going ahead of Mike.
Thanks, Lloyd and Lindsay. Always great to hear your feedback on it. Comber and Smith on the front row, Blackwell Chambers and Trott on the second, from Langridge and Foden, Charlie Burge, and keep an eye on Oliver Allwood. He's back in the top 10 now from 8th on the grid. He should be a fighting factor. Sebastian Fisher and Adam Craig on row 5, from Poles and Simmons, Clark and Dean. Adam Bessel and Jason Greatrex fall back to the 8th row for this third race, with Paul Bateman still in the A group. Then it's Lewis Cannon who won the B group race for the second time. Pollard, Tolley, Orange and Paul Tucker have made it into the A group for this one, so they'll be trying to make up places from the off. Green flag flies to the back of the field, 5-second board goes up. We're ready for the third and final A group race of the Mazda MX-5 Championship here at Cadwell Park. Lights on, let's race at Cadwell Park for the third and final time in the A group. The MCR cars getting away, Comer and Smith, watch for Blackwell Chambers. Smith has cut right across, don't even think about it, Will, you're not going to make up a place in Coppice. And a great start from Langridge, who has got the move on Brian Trott, as we expected he might from that inside line. So Langridge is through into 4th position as Charlie Burge slots himself into P6. Cracking start from Langridge, that's exactly what he wanted to do off the start of this race. Now he can get clear and charge after the leading 3. Now Fisher, Craig and the rest of the field have started to fall back a little bit off the start. Maybe not the best getaways. Lewis Cannon has already started to make up places. He's got 2 of them already. He's now alongside Adam Bessel as he goes for the move. Will Blackwell Chambers has created space as the MCR cars, I think, have swapped positions. Certainly Coomber having to defend to the inside from teammate Sam Smith, and that's 55 off the road. That is a big mistake there from Matt Pollard, who has dropped back down the order. So I think Pollard lost the car altogether. But now look at this. Sam Smith has dropped back and Langridge goes off the road. Smith runs wide. Trott's going to get through. Smith's going to drop back to 5th, maybe 6th if he can't shut the door on Burge. He does shut the door on Burge, but now the 2 leaders have got clear. Oh my goodness, the MCR team game has completely failed on the first lap, because now that is Smith in the lead. Sorry, I thought it was Mike Comber still, but it is Smith in the sister car. So Smith leads. Blackwell Chambers is second. Mike Comber struggling his way down to 5th position then, as he now tucks in behind Brian Trott. So 2 wins out of 2, but I'm not sure the third one's coming. Foden right in behind Sebastian Fisher. Now, where is Oliver Allwood actually? He's now tucked in behind Adam Craig, so he's not had the best of getaways actually, Oliver Allwood. Just trying to count them as they come through. He's down in 11th now, Allwood, so he's had a terrible start by his reckoning. So he'll want to make up progress. There is 23, fingertips touching for Martin Tolley on the side of the door once again, as they come down the straight and into Coppice Corner. So Sam Smith and Will Blackwell Chambers still battling away as they come up the hill. Through Charlie's, This is going to be tough because now the leading two are broken clear. John Langridge has got into third position, but he very nearly threw it all away on the exit of Gooseneck on the first lap. Now Trott has got the double race winner from this weekend, Mike Comber, underneath him, so he's got to try and make the move. Meanwhile, up front, Smith is defending from Will Blackwell-Chambers, who's still trying to get his first win of the weekend. He's had a second, he's had a third. Burge is making a room on the inside of Mike Comber, and that's a beautiful move. Now that's a hard one to pull off at Park, but he managed to make the space. He committed to it. He said, enough, I want the top 5 finish, and he's gone and got it for the moment. And that is the last lap board out there, so Blackwell-Chambers hoping to hang on in front of Langridge. Third place Smith, fourth is Trott, fifth is Comber, and sixth is Burge. One more time around. How fast can Langridge be to close up on Blackwell-Chambers this time by? Through Charlie's. Langridge is closing on Blackwell-Chambers. As I keep saying, he's so strong through this first sector. He's got Blackwell-Chambers on the brake. Now, can he do what Smith couldn't? He's having a look. He goes right. He goes straight to the left. He's going to come on the far side. Can he go round the outside of Park? He's made some good overtakes already today. Can he do it? He's going to squeeze Blackwell-Chambers. He's done it. Langridge takes the lead at Cadwell. Brilliant move from John Langridge. Now he's got to defend. Blackwell-Chambers is back to the inside. He cuts the nose across. Smith's got into the back of Blackwell-Chambers, and all of them have gone off. Trott's gone off as well. Blackwell-Chambers ran wide. Smith has dropped back. Trott's dropped back. Smith's gone right off the circuit, so that's put Blackwell-Chambers into second. Comber is now third. Burge is fourth. John Langridge is the leader. What a sweet move from John Langridge. Oh my word, that was absolutely textbook. He now leads the race here at Cadwell Park, but Comber is not done yet. He wants to get the move on Blackwell-Chambers for second. Blackwell-Chambers is having to defend for second. The race is won by, as far as John Langridge is concerned. Blackwell-Chambers is trying to hang on now in front of Mike Comber. Burge is fourth, Trott is fifth, and Sam Smith is down to sixth position, I think, so Comber's now going to try and fight his way by for second if he can find a weave on the inside there of Blackwell-Chambers. But it is going to be a fantastic run to the victory for John Langridge out of the final turn. He has got this race won as out of the final hairpin, out of the barn turn as well. It's going to be a great run to the flag. Here comes your man in the lead. John Langridge gets the victory. Langridge wins it from Blackwell-Chambers and Mike Comber. Burge is fourth, Trott is fifth from Smith, Allwood and Steve Foden. Oh, John Langridge has grabbed that race win by the throat and absolutely made mincemeat of the rest of the field. Terrific stuff from John Langridge. That will easily rank as one of his greatest ever victories in the championship. Blackwell-Chambers and Comber join him on the podium. From Burge, Trott and Smith, Allwood, Foden, Sebastian Fisher and Clive Poles round out the top 10. From Adam Craig and Teddy Clark, Greatrex fights back to 13th ahead of Dean. From Tolley, Bateman, Tucker, Adam Bessel, Simon Orange and Matthew Pollard, all only just about half a minute off the back. Simmons there in 21st. Cannon is the only retirement, but John Langridge leaves Cadwell as the main man of the moment. What a race drive. And in the championship standings, that means that Blackwell-Chambers is now only 6 points ahead of Allwood. The tide has definitely turned. Comber is 4 points back. Smith, Trott and Langridge are close.
John, it's been a while since we've had a chat, especially on the winners' podium. Congratulations. You pulled that out of nowhere. I want to know what you did.
Thanks, Lloyd. Yeah, nice to see you. The car was mega. The Avery Motorsport boys have been fine-tuning it all weekend, and you know, it just came alive. In the race before, I felt it was really good, but couldn't quite nip past Brian Trott, and had a mega start in that. Just kept chipping away, and suddenly I was on the back of them, so I had to go, and I got into second, and I thought, it's the last lap. We've got to have a go.
Well, that wraps up the action here at Cadwell Park for the BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Championship A-Series.
Thank you so much for joining us here. Hopefully you'll come back and join us again at Alton Park.